When the power goes out in Kyiv, Valery Takalich has to climb 12 flights of stairs to his apartment, carrying his 2-month-old baby instead of taking the lift. It's a regular occurrence for the city's 3 million people after Russia began pummeling the country's energy system in late March, cutting out half of its generating capacity. Authorities can warn residents of upcoming outages, giving them around 15 minutes to prepare.
Blackouts are the worst. Even the airstrikes, which we got used to and which present huge risks for the family, made worse by the presence of the baby, they bother me less than the blackouts do.
They cook with a small portable gas stove, but access to water to bathe their baby is difficult, as pumps need power to reach high apartments. The family are considering moving further west for a less disruptive life. Some Kyiv residents went without power for more than 5 hours a day last week due to deficits in the energy system, the longest outage since last winter. Artist Yevhen Klemenko normally works during the night, but has changed his habits to paint in the dawn light. He says it's a minor sacrifice compared to those closer to the front line.
We knew there would be no power. I want to buy lamps, power banks and batteries to have the minimum. Where there is a power cut, I turn on a lamp. It's better than doing nothing.
Local news broadcasts even continue on in the darkness. It's reminiscent of the winter of 2023. Streets are plunged into darkness, the hum of generators can be heard across Kyiv, and people carry flashlights to get around. Ukrainian authorities say Russia's spring attacks are causing long-term network damage that may mean power cuts for years to come. Kyiv has struggled to secure enough air defense systems from its Western allies to protect itself. Moscow says Ukraine's energy infrastructure is a legitimate military objective and denies targeting civilians. Thousands of Ukrainians have been killed in attacks on residential buildings, schools and hospitals since early 2022.
Australia's winemakers have something to celebrate. Official figures show exports to China have soared after Beijing lifted tariffs on the product. Shipments hit $57 million in the month after the move. Now the industry will be hoping it can get back to the $800 million per year seen before China imposed the duties in late 2020. That was part of broader restrictions imposed on Australia after Canberra called for a probe into the origins of COVID-19. Now an export boom would be timely for the country's winemakers, who are grappling with huge oversupply. Adding to the encouragement, Australia's Trade Minister said most of the new exports were at the premium end of the market. The government also said it would help fund better data for the industry and support marketing in China and elsewhere. However, analysts say it may be hard to drive exports back to 2020 levels, with Chinese wine consumption sharply down in recent years. Almost all of Beijing's restrictions on Australia have now been lifted, except for barriers to imports of lobsters. With Chinese Premier Li Qiang set to visit the country this weekend, ministers say they're hopeful producers of the seafood delicacy could soon get good news.